Okay, so it's the afternoon of March 8th, and my other videos I've shown you the fenders for the 35 Dodge, and I'm going to show you the cab. I went down this morning to my blast guy and picked up the cab as I dropped off the frame for this truck, and cab looks pretty good. It has its issues. Some of them are like items like here. It's really hard to see, but there's lead at all these seams, and it's cracked and separated, and all that's going to have to come out. So I'll melt that out with a torch and start over using filler. The cab looks pretty good, solid. It's got a lot of dents right up through here, and it's hard to see when it's blasted, but once I get the epoxy primer on, it'll show up quite well. What I found is there's some damage here where the hinges mount for the doors. I'll have to address all that. Same way down here, there's cracks in a variety of places. I have to address those. But the biggest deal is over this truck's life of being driven on farms and back roads or whatever, the cab is taking a beating from bouncing around and having rigid mounts on the frame. The floor of the cab has pushed up, and evidence of that is there's some cracks where the seat riser mounts. There's actually some cracks down here in the corner where this welded into the floor pan. There are separations here on the seat riser, and then there are cracks all in this section here where the bolt goes. I was really surprised when I ran up this back support, and it's cracked almost the whole way across. It's kind of hard to see, but it's there. And the driver's side is actually the good side. I'll take you around and show you the passenger side. And this side is really taking a beating. And the problem with this is the floor from about this area over to where the mount is pushed up, gosh, 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch. That's going to make the cab sit crooked on the frame. So I have to push the floor down, maybe add a support to it to help stiffen it up and repair all these cracks. Now this metal was really thin. It wasn't anything, it wasn't a tank, that's for sure. But all these cracks run coming through underneath the seat riser. This is cracked here. There's cracks again in this corner. The seat riser itself is cracked here, and just a separation from that years of being beat on those back roads. There's also where the door mounts, multiple cracks, and you can see it's deformed. So I'll have to repair all that, get that straightened up. Otherwise, the rest of the cab looks really good. And what I'm going to do now is wipe it down with some degreaser, and I'm going to mix up some epoxy primer. And it's you have to mix it up, and it's PPG product, JP377, and then the partner, JH3770, and it mixes 2 to 1. And I'm going to mix it up and spray the whole truck, the whole cab at this point, and hopefully get some protection on it, and then soon get started on it and get it straightened up.